What if I told you I spent an entire year without the internet? Seriously, no scrolling, no notifications, no endless feeds. You're probably thinking, how is that even possible in 2025? My smart fridge updates more often than that. Well, I did it, and the results completely transformed my brain. This isn't some retro experiment or a quirky vacation. This was a battle from my most valuable asset, my attention span. And I was losing. If you feel like your focus is constantly being hijacked, if you struggle to sit through a movie without checking your phone, or if the idea of reading a 300-page book feels like climbing Everest, then you know exactly the kind of chaos I was living in. I'm talking about an attention span so fragmented it felt like scrambled eggs. Get ready to discover what happens when you truly unplug. This is how I reclaimed my mind.
We are living through what I call the attention apocalypse. Look, I used to pride myself on being a digital native. I was multitasking champion. 5 tabs open, listening to a podcast, texting 3 different people, all while watching Netflix. But let's be real, I was doing nothing well. My day looked like this. Wake up, check phone for 45 minutes, start working, get interrupted by a notification every 12 minutes. And yes, I timed it. Try to read a book, read the same paragraph 5 times, and then instinctively reach for the phone that wasn't even there. The breaking point came right around the end of 2024. I was trying to write a simple email, and I found myself cycling between the email, a sports score update, and checking my friends' vacation photos, a process that took 45 minutes, and the email still wasn't sent. I looked at my life and realized I wasn't using the internet was using me. It was optimizing my behavior for maximum engagement, turning my brain into a slot machine addict, constantly looking for the next dopamine hit. My goal was clear. I committed to a 365-day complete digital detox. No Wi-Fi, no mobile data, no social media, no news feeds. The core question I needed to answer was, can I truly rebuild my ability to focus for hours, not minutes? The first 90 days were pure hell. Honestly, it was less detox and more like digital withdrawal. The shock was immediate. I experienced phantom vibrations constantly. I'd be walking down the street, feel my pocket buzz, reach for it, and realize I hadn't carried my phone in weeks. My body was physically conditioned to anticipate the next notification. My mind was like a race car stuck in the mud. It had all this pent-up energy for processing information, but nowhere to go. There was restlessness, anxiety, and a genuine fear of missing out, magnified by 10. I had to replace the habits, and fast. I bought a cheap, non-internet capable phone for emergencies. I started carrying a small notebook everywhere. I looked up, but then came the unexpected discoveries. Around day 30, the static started to fade. The first thing I noticed was my sleep. I was actually tired when I went to bed, and I stayed asleep. Then my senses heightened. I remember the exact moment I truly tasted an apple for the first time. The crunch, the tartness. It sounds ridiculous, but I was suddenly noticing the small, beautiful details of the real world that had been obscured by a glowing screen for years. The intentional replacement of digital habits with analog habits was crucial. I started reading physical books again, a real, tangible book where the only thing you can click is the corner of the page to turn it. I dusted off my guitar. I walked miles every day, just walking with my own thoughts. The discomfort was still there, but it transformed from anxiety into a subtle, productive hum. This was the rebirth phase.
Once I hit the halfway mark, something profound changed. I wasn't fighting the urge to check my phone anymore. The urge simply wasn't there. My brain had learned a new rhythm. This is where I discovered the flow state. For those who don't know, flow is that feeling of being totally immersed in an activity, where hours feel like minutes, and you are operating at peak performance. Before the detox, I might hit flow for 20 minutes before a digital ping shattered it. By month 6, I could sustain deep, focused work for 3, 4, even 5 hours straight. I completed tasks, big, difficult tasks, in a single sitting. The efficiency was unreal. This sustained attention unlocked a creative revival. Think about it. Creativity requires connecting disparate ideas. If your short-term memory is constantly being flushed by new content, you never give those ideas time to marinate. Without the noise, my mind started generating new ideas effortlessly. I used my detox time to learn basic woodworking. I started writing short stories. These were things I'd been putting off for years, always saying, I don't have time. It turned out I had all the time in the world. I just lacked the focus. The biggest, most surprising gain was the social and emotional shift. In real-world conversations, I was present. I wasn't formulating my reply while the other person was still talking, distracted by the shadow of my phone. My friends noticed. My partner noticed. Our connections deepened because I was finally giving them the gift of my unbroken attention. Sure, there was initial awkwardness. I missed out on some memes and trends, but those were trivial losses compared to the profound gain in genuine human connection. As the year drew to a close, the benefits extended far beyond attention. The most valuable change was the elimination of background anxiety. That low-level hum of dread, the one caused by constantly feeling obligated to respond, to know everything, to keep up, it was gone. My mental clarity improved dramatically. I started making decisions faster, based on my own principles, not influenced by an endless stream of opinions. My perspective shift was tectonic. I realized the vast majority of digital noise is just that, noise. It doesn't contribute to my goals, my happiness, or my relationships. I learned the difference between information and wisdom, and between connection and distraction. What truly matters when the digital noise fades? For me, it was quiet creation, meaningful relationships, physical health, and simply having space in my head to think long, complex thoughts. That is a superpower that this modern world tries to steal from you every single day. My new normal didn't mean moving to a cabin in the woods. It meant setting up boundaries so thick and high they were almost invisible. I knew that when the year ended, I couldn't just throw my brain back into the digital shark tank. I had to integrate the lessons learned. The year wasn't the goal. The year was the tool that created the new me.
The year ended, and the time came for re-entry. I knew I had to navigate the digital world, but wisely. I didn't get rid of my laptop or my smartphone. Instead, I established an intentional relationship with them. First, all notifications are off, except for calls from my family. Second, I use specific devices for specific tasks. My laptop is for creation and work, not scrolling. My phone is a tool for communication and navigation, not consumption. Third, I schedule my consumption. I check news and social media once a day for a fixed 15-minute period, like a chore. That's it. You don't need to quit for a whole year to feel the benefits. You can start small. Here are 3 practical, actionable tips to help you maintain the edge and reclaim your focus, starting today. 1. The 20-20 rule. When you sit down to work, commit to 20 minutes of uninterrupted, focused work. When the timer goes off, take a 20-second break, look away from your screen, and breathe. This retrains your brain to accept deep focus intervals. 2. The inbox zero tolerance policy. Delete the apps you compulsively check from your phone. Social media, news, time wasters. Access them only on your laptop. Adding friction massively reduces checking behavior. 3. The analog hour. Schedule 1 hour a day, ideally before bed, where all screens are off and put away. Read, journal, talk to someone, listen to music. Give your brain a chance to process the day without new input. This entire journey taught me that our attention is a finite resource, more valuable than time or money. It is the raw material for a life well lived. Don't let it be sold off cheap. So I want to leave you with this question. What is the true, non-negotiable value of your unbroken attention? Consider embarking on your own micro-unplugging challenge this week. Let me know what you find in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, the most important connection you can make is the one you have with your own mind. I'll see you next week.